If you're having trouble printing with your Epson EcoTank 16600, then you're going to want to stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this video. Basically, if you have lines coming up in your prints, you're missing a certain color, or you're printing blank pages, or really you just have an overall and general print quality issue, you're going to want to watch this entire video. Now in this video, I actually show you how to clean the printhead, and the actual printer that's going to be in this video is the Epson EcoTank 5800, but the instructions for the 5800 are totally compatible with the Epson EcoTank 16600 and similar models. So without any further ado, let's get started with this cleaning. All right, so the first thing we need to do to get this repair started is we're actually going to print a printhead nozzle check. This is going to tell us which colors are giving you the most issues and what you need to work on the most. Now, when you print out your printhead nozzle report, you're going to want to take a look at it, make sure you know what colors are giving you the most issues. If you're printing blank pages, this is going to be kind of irrelevant because you know that you're going to have to clean all of the nozzles, and we'll talk more about that later on in the video. But once you get that report, you're going to go for another printhead cleaning, and while the printer is printing, you hear it going back and forth, the printhead, you're going to unplug the printer. Very important step. So make sure that is unplugged. The printhead is going to be out of place, so it's going to be out of the locked position, meaning that you can move it around and do what you need to do in order to clean it now. So you're going to move it back and forth, make sure it's unlocked. Once you know that for a fact, you're then going to need to remove this screw that is attaching this cover over the printhead, and really use whatever you need. It's a smaller Phillips head screw, so use a smaller Phillips head screwdriver, or something like what I'm using, a pocket knife with a flat head on it. Once that's removed, you're going to be able to remove the actual cover. Now keep in mind, there should be no power to the printer right now. At this point, you have unplugged the printer and it is totally powerless. And so now you can begin to work. You're really going to want to pay attention to the details of the instructions in this video. Rewatch as much as you need to. You really want to get this down so that you do this correctly the first time. Now, a very important aspect to this process is actually buying new bottled ink, because through this process, you're going to use a lot of ink, so you're going to need to replace that somehow. So I will be leaving a link to some remanufactured ink. You can also use OEM ink. I mean, I go with remanufactured because it's a lot less expensive. You can replace it a lot quicker, and it's a lot more accessible many times. So what I'm removing right now are the cartridges, the empty cartridges that get filled with ink from the tubing. So this is not your average regular ink cartridge. This is the cartridge that the ink tank pushes it into. So that's all it really is. And you need to remove this because that is going to give you access to the nozzles. We want to have access to the nozzles. This is just a conduit. This is just a passage point. The ink just flows through this, so there should not be any issues with those cartridges. These are the nozzles. This is what will allow you to clean the printhead directly. And so we want to now use the Best Printers Cleaning Kit. Again, link down in the description below for this product. It's the only product you're going to want to use because it's the most reputable one that I have used on hundreds of different printers that I've fixed. At this point, you do want to get some paper towel. You want to get some gloves on. There is gloves that come with the kit, so you can use those. And really, you're not going to need any of the attachments with the kit. What you're going to need is just that silicone tubing that's already attached to the syringe. So you're going to want to put some paper towel under the printhead. So you're going to want to make sure that everything is put in a place where you can actually move the printhead. So you're going to want to move it all the way to the left. Now you're going to fold up paper towel, all the way down, as skinny as possible, as thin as possible. And then you're going to move that printhead directly over it. And you want the printhead to be right in the middle of that paper towel. If it's not in the middle of that paper towel, you could have some leakage. So this is going to prevent that. This is going to catch all of the dried up ink. It's going to catch all of the cleaning solution that you're pushing through. It's very important that you go through this process. You can also swap that paper towel out as well. Now we're ready to start the cleaning. You're going to take your syringe with the silicone tubing, just like you see here in the video. And the method that I use here in the video is the method you're going to want to use as well, because this is just the best way to do it. You can use a smartphone with your flashlight to give you some extra light. And so you're going to take this silicone tubing and you're going to place it over the first nozzle that you have the most problems with. That is not printing the color that you need, that is printing faded, that is printing choppy. The worst one is the one you're going to clean first. And if you need to take a look at your print head, nozzle report, now would be the time to do it so that you can make sure of the colors that are working and not working. So make a list. You need to know whatever ones are not working properly. You're going to clean those. You're going to push 10 milliliters at a time into each nozzle. And then you're going to take a break if it needs more than 10 milliliters, if it's a major issue. Let's say all of these were, let's say we're printing blank and all these colors were not printing. Then you're going to do about 20 milliliters each, but it's going to be 10 milliliters at a time. So you would do 4 times 40 milliliters. And then you would go around a second time and do another 40 milliliters. You should have 20 milliliters left at the end of the day in your cleaning bottle that you could use if you needed to do some extra cleaning on a different color or on a specific color that's giving you continuing to give you issues after you go through this whole process. So you do want to have some backup fluid just in case, but that is probably the worst case scenario. I gave it to you right there. Now, if for whatever reason you're not able to push the fluid through with the syringe. In other words, you have set everything up, everything is connected just like you see here in the video. The silicone tubing is on the nozzle, but you are pushing the nozzle, you're pushing the fluid from the syringe, and let's say, just like it is here on screen, let's say it stops at that 10 mark and you're just not able to get any more traction and not able to move it at all. You're going to need to warm up the cleaning fluid. You're going to have to reset, empty out the syringe, and you're going to want to fill the syringe with that warm solution, because that's the warm solution you want to apply to that nozzle that is not breaking. Now, if for some reason it's still not breaking up, you're just going to have to hold pressure until it does, because that warmed up cleaning solution ultimately will break up that blockage. So what causes this problem many times is printing with low ink and not printing for an extended period of time. So it's dried up ink that's in there that needs to be pushed out. So I would say every 20 milliliters that you push through, you're going to want to swap out this paper towel. Now that sounds time consuming. So you are going to have to carve out some time to do this entire cleaning, this entire repair, but it's going to be worth it at the end of the day, because you're not going to have a mess on your hands. You're going to make sure that every 20 milliliters, you're going to swap out that paper towel and you can do the cleaning as you need to. If you're putting through 100 milliliters, you're going to have to use about 5 paper towels. Once you are done with the cleaning, you're satisfied. Now, what dictates that? It really is just, you're going to have to go based off of the information in this video, and you're going to have to use your own judgment. But if you were having one color that was giving you an issue and you pushed 50 milliliters through that color, then you're most likely good to put everything back together, make sure everything is dried. Now listen up, this is a very important step. This step here you cannot miss. You need to, after the cleaning, leave this printer to dry for 24 hours. It doesn't matter if you dried it up with a towel and you are very sure that it's dry. You have got to wait 24 hours before you power on the printer. You're going to leave it off, unplugged, for 24 hours. After the 24-hour period has transpired, you are then going to plug the printer back in and you can power it back on. You're going to want to replace the Printhead cover, make sure that's all in place, make sure everything that you removed, everything that you took apart is put back. Now the trick to doing this the right way is just doing it slowly. Don't try to do it as quick as I did it here in the video. I've done this many times, I have experience. If you do it slowly, you'll do it correctly. Now you can power on the printer. After 24 hours, you will most likely have to refill the ink tanks, and so hopefully you purchase new ink with the link that I have down in the description below early on. Now we're going to do a power cleaning. You're going to go into maintenance, you're going to select power cleaning, you're going to go through all of the prompts, and it's going to take you through quite a few of them, but answer them, click I confirm. Now it's just some warnings. You don't want to do this excessively, but I would say if you have to do it a couple times, if it means you fixing your printer, then go ahead and do it. Another thing you may want to consider swapping out at this point is a maintenance box. I'll leave a link for that as well, and I have a video on how to change out the maintenance box on this printer. It's very simple. It's one of the most simple ones because it's on this model, it's in a good position. So that's really all there is to it. I really hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions at all, comment below. If you need support, my website is available in the description box, bestprinterstech.com. If this video was helpful, please make sure to like, and if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. I handpicked 2 videos that are here on the screen for you to watch next. Also consider subscribing to this channel. There's so much helpful content for you if you're a printer owner, and it's just good to have a resource like this for you in the future, whether you're dealing with a printer that's not printing well or you need more printer recommendations. So I look forward to seeing you again in another video.